As Minecraft has regained its popularity, new ways of viewing the game have emerged. Or rather, a very old one. Nostalgia has brought old school players back to the game, however they have found the experience to be very different. Videos such as White Lights and JXCs have gained popularity, and the idea of adding more survival based mechanics to the game is growing increasingly common. But should Minecraft go back to its survival roots? Would it be a good direction for the game to take? So when the average player thinks of survival mechanics, a thirst or temperature bar is usually the first idea, but this is far from what is being proposed. In fact, it is almost the direct opposite, as the addition of the hunger bar marked an important step in the game's trajectory away from survival. As JXC pointed out, when food was non-stackable and healed health instead of hunger, there was a clearer picture of how much health one could afford to lose, which encouraged the player to focus on survival more than micromanaging. But food has been stackable for a very long time, and the hunger bar is something we don't think twice about now. That is a double-edged sword. The abundance of food and the ability to regenerate health facilitates exploration and building, which are two things that Minecraft has been increasingly focusing on. However, people don't think twice about the hunger bar because there's no reason to. The only thing you need to do is eat every so often. How could we expand this? Well, let's look at what causes the hunger bar to drain. Movement, fighting, mining, and healing. All of these are core parts of the survival experience, but depending on the scenario, some will be used more than others. Instead of the challenge coming from conserving food, let it come from planning a trip beforehand. This could be achieved by having different kinds of food slow hunger from different sources. Meat for healing and fighting, carbs for mining, vegetables for sprinting, even fish for swimming. It wouldn't be a massive change, you'd just use up less food when doing that activity. But you'd have to decide whether to pack multiple types of food or just one and forego the benefit in some cases. Or you could make even more complex foods, like stews and baked goods, which could provide the buff in more than one activity. For example, pumpkin pie would help with both sprinting and mining. This would be a subtle yet useful mechanic, and the existing hunger system would remain the same, but with more depth. Another significant change from Alpha was the addition of sprinting. Old school players see it as a way to cheese the night and its enemies, which were well balanced around a player that could not sprint. Well, they might be well balanced to a regular gamer, but Minecraft has a large audience with a diverse range of ages and abilities. Expecting everyone to deal with the same mechanics that a regular gamer would find challenging would shut a lot of players out. Does this mean Minecraft can't have any challenge? No, but challenge can be optional. You can deliberately get in the thick of a bunch of mobs if you want to, or pick them off one by one from afar. Each decision you make can adjust the immediate difficulty to something you feel more comfortable with. You don't have to fight the Ender Dragon if you don't want to. There's incentive, in the form of shulker shells and elytra, but ultimately whether to fight is a decision the player makes themselves. Same with peaceful mode. There's many ways Minecraft can be customized to make the game more or less challenging, and Mojang is further encouraging this in 1.16. by allowing the player to set game rules upon world creation, such as keeping inventory upon death, or disabling phantom and patrol spawning, natural regeneration, and even forms of damage like fire, falling, and drowning. Difficulty being customizable isn't a full solution though. The default still has to be appealing, and it aims to be, for a variety of people, not gaming veterans who miss the old days of Minecraft. This is a problem for mods or difficulty settings to fix, not the vanilla game. Beds are in a similar situation. They're only overpowered if you expect the night to be Minecraft's uncircumventable challenge, like it was back in Alpha. Forcing the player to stay inside at nighttime might encourage them to mine or build, but it might also force them into a small room for 5 minutes with nothing to do. It may seem like a cheap rebuttal to say, if you don't like it, don't use it, but I think it honestly applies here, what with Minecraft being so customizable. Even a change as simple as removing wool drops from sheep would bring back the first night, since you'd need to either find iron for shears or kill enough spiders to craft their string into wool. And phantoms could be fixed by making insomnia only increase while the player is in the nether, preventing them from being a problem in early game and a nuisance in end game, if people are only using the nether as transportation. You could even explain the lore by redefining insomnia as being unable to sleep, i.e. in the nether, and not just choosing not to sleep like you do in the overworld. There are a few reasons to build beyond aesthetics currently, but more could be added in any amount of ways. The existence doesn't hinge on the night being difficult and unavoidable. In fact, some already exist, and are mostly related to redstone farms. Instead of building to protect themselves, these are built to obtain resources for other projects. While the reward isn't as quantifiable as not dying, Completing these builds is satisfying because of the continuous output of materials. Redstone is complex, however, so it is inaccessible to a significant part of the player base. More non-aesthetic building opportunities are possible to add, and the path Mojang seems to be taking is having the environment affect mobs, such as soul torches and warped fungi, repelling piglins and hoglins respectively. If more mobs were designed with this in mind, the player could design buildings to intuitively control these mobs for any purpose. However, flipping this on its head and having mobs affect the environment, like the much loathed creeper, would detract from Minecraft's sandboxiness by destroying people's creations. In conclusion, Minecraft isn't a survival game anymore, and it's not meant to be. It's a sandbox game, and while survival and sandbox elements can be compatible, too many survival elements can exclude parts of the player base. However, the game certainly has a lot more room for non-aesthetic building opportunities, and could add depth to its existing mechanics. But it also features many ways to modify the experience, such as data packs and mods, challenges such as half-hearted hardcore, or even self-imposed ones like not using beds or starting in the nether. The best thing about Minecraft is how you can make it your own experience. It is the epitome of sandbox games, because it has left its limiting survival origins behind. The challenge of surviving in a hostile world has been replaced by new challenges. How do I optimize this farm? How do I make this building look prettier? How do I make this redstone contraption work? Those challenges, and the other ones I have listed, aren't going to please everyone. That's impossible. It's a good thing then that there's a whole genre of survival games for everyone to explore. Thank you all for listening. If you enjoyed this video essay, let me know by leaving a like, and if you really enjoy what I do, please consider supporting me on Patreon. Special thanks to Adele for pledging $5 this month, and Jublove for pledging $10. Patrons and people who nitro boost the Minecraft Abnormals Discord server get access to a super secret mod with a lot of interesting plans. We also have a slew of existing vanilla style mods, which you can browse through on our website. More video essays and Minecraft Ideas Academy episodes are planned, so if those interest you, subscribe and hit the bell, and soon they should be out for you to enjoy. We also have a subreddit for submitting suggestions, 2 Twitter pages, and a Discord for brainstorming ideas, showcasing and critiquing art, and talking about Minecraft and mods. It's all in the description down below. Until next time, stay abnormal.